Brother Timothy? All right, anyway, if since we're having challenges with the document, most only download it out, then maybe when you get to the next lecture, we'll then proceed with that part. So let's, for the benefit of time, let's proceed with the other three. Today, 6 in the morning, we said we have got 6 advanced Excel functions. So muchandi recite all those 6 so that tizive kuti tiri pamwe chete here. Right? Sister Tabitha, if you can see the Mutori Pana, can you give me the 6 advanced Excel functions we agreed with?
There's naming cells and ranges,
sure,
protecting worksheet and workbook, hyperlink, that is using the table of contents, groups, rows, and columns, pivot tables in Excel, and conditional formatting, charts and graphs.
Wonderful. So these are the 6. So Patapet, thank you very much. Patapet, we were doing, we were on grouping rows and columns, and I showed you how the rows and columns can be grouped. But before we proceed, I'm going to let me open. Should I continue with the grouping? Should I continue with the practical grouping? So I wanted someone to do it from that end, but unfortunately, apana kwasa download and this is why. So let's do together. I gave you the notes, these 3 steps that you're going to do that. Right? So, right there you are, right? This is what I've sent you. Download successfully. I wanted you to open this one. So to group, someone to group 32 and a papi to it say. To group to end up papi to it say.
I think you select the rows and the columns that you intend to group.
Right. So wait, thank you very much. So in this case, can you see I'm here? So I'm going to select these rows because this bar and that's here, I'm sorry. Hello. Hello.
You know, some of these now I no longer know them now. Maybe I know them when I see them.
Okay, I fixed that. So Panapatine, this row number 6 in a heading here, so we don't want to close it because we chat guide can closer every other information. So I'm gonna come and highlight the rows and group. Then can you see just at the bottom here and I see a space blank so that particular group at least go to this top part in the header ready for that particular report, and this one for this particular statement. So to separate them, I'm gonna leave this part. Then you can come again, my sister. What's the next stage? I've highlighted the row.
And then you click on data tab on the ribbon.
You go to data tab. Interesting now, because in with me, the only challenge because I'm sharing this with you. How do I? Data tab is in the, it's number what now? Okay. Sorry, just a moment. I'm trying to find out how I can.
It's on number 6 from your left.
There we are. So it's data, right? Wonderful. The data tab. Then from there, where do we go?
And then you go where it's written group.
Group right at the far right side. So we go to group and ungroup here. So we go to
Yes.
group, then we click group. Kana tango click a group, see what this thing that has come out. Then we click the minus to hide this. Because if you click the plus, then you know by opener minus takuta room close anotera. Like what? Then we simply follow what my sister has told us to do. Then we come here again and say group, then we go click minus, close, then we close here, then we come here again, we go and take notes. And you could see the headers because in so that to tell us with this report like a group and also at the bottom, I'm leaving out a plain white space or row to actually become a separator. As you can see, this part and the separator, this part, which is the header and the separator, that will tell me this is another report. There's information in this group, information in this group. Then as soon as Nadaro, I go here and I close, then to, what has happened? There's something, I did something, forgive me. The highlighter, everything, just so. Okay, so basically, this one. So basically, we now have these three reports, which is if we open Panapa, Tane report, we can choose to block them. If you choose to open the balance sheet, we have got the balance sheet. We can close the balance sheet. If you choose to open the cash flow statement, we can close the cash flow statement. Right, Zirkubatika here. Hello. Zirkubatika here.
Wong.
Thank you. So kurukunzi tikati tizvite because zvataita apa izvi zvatapesera kuita zvegrouping zvatatichita zvegrouping izvi. This part constitute plus or minus the 10 marks of the question here financial modeling. So musatombouya zvenyu musiri kutoziva kuti tinogadzira sei report on a single sheet, and also tinozogroupa sei, because it's actually a requirement of financial modeling. So a question of financial modeling is compulsory in every exam, and as a result, you are part of the formatting involves grouping like this. All right, thank you very much. So we will proceed to the next chapter, which is, or the next topic, which is protecting your workbook. Protecting your workbook. Protecting your workbook. Protecting your workbook. So we're going to take a few notes.
Say.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
It is well.
Okay. Could you please just run through the 6 advanced Excel? Don't know what you call it.
Advanced functions in Excel.
Yes.
All right. Number one, we have the naming cells. The naming cells and ranges. Number two, we have the protecting your worksheets and workbooks. Number three, using the table of contents, hyperlinks. You can call them hyperlinks in brackets. Using the table of contents, hyperlinks. Number four, grouping rows and columns. Grouping rows and columns. That's the one. Number five, pivot tables in Excel. Pivot tables in Excel. What have I done? Number six, conditional formatting. Conditional formatting. They're actually seven. The seventh one is charts and graphs. Charts and graphs. Right, Mashbata, did it?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Unmute. Then, so we are here. Protecting your worksheet. Protecting your worksheet. So, to protect our worksheet, basically by default, mukavura any workbook rinenge riri open kumunhu wese kuti chero angovhurawo basa ramuri kuita anokwanisa kutoona kuti director anotambira $12,000 pamwedzi, vamwe vachipiwa $100. So zvino create a noise pabasa. So kana muri kuita basa zvakanaka kuti basa renyu riprotectwe. So hapana anokuudzai kuti protectai, but imi mega munoziva kuti information yatiri kuwana apa iri yakakosha and iri sensitive zvakadini. So as a result, we encourage kana mune basa, say for example mune payroll ratatichita baba, you can't have that thing open without a password. Surely mangwana munoona vamwe vakupondana. So to avoid all that, you need to protect basa renyu, and this is zvoka. Right, muchandi nyoroma notes moti. There are a number of ways to protect. There are a number of ways to protect your work in Excel. There are a number of ways to protect your work in Excel. Right, wonderful. So Tati, there are a number of ways to protect your worksheet. So the first one, number one, is mark as final. Mark as final. So mark as final is, you can take these notes and say, marking your workbook as a final, it's marking as your workbook as a final document to restrict editing by other users. To restrict editing by other users. Mark as final. To restrict editing by other users. That's number one. So, but whilst you are there, the disadvantage of this one is mukamaka document with final. Mamwe ma users achashandisa document within the organization kana kuti ma users are to share the same document with you. They can tell kuti avachabvumidzwa kuedita, but unfortunately there is nothing that can restrict them from editing. It's just like iri kungovaita kuti vave aware kuti they are not supposed to edit, but otherwise you can, they can proceed to make changes to that particular document. So that's the disadvantage. It doesn't really protect the document. Iri kungopa awareness kuti this is the final document. Atichisina zvimwe zvatora kuisa papero redu tapedza, this is the final information. Hapasina chicha editor. So that's the first one. The second one, so we'll come back tichizviita zvese izvozvo. The second one, password protect the workbook. The second one, password protect the workbook. That's the second method of protecting your work in Excel. So this is very important. Like I said, kana mchishare basa nevamwe, mchibo share computer, you're using the same computer, or it's a safer computer, mchibo basa, and vana waka connected through the network, kana it's your laptop, and vana vanomboiona vo, kana vana kumba vanombo access a laptop yenyu vachita ma online ave kuchikoro kwavo ku O level ku primary, then vanogona kupinda wo distort information ebasa renyu rekubasa. So the best way is to protect the workbook. So the workbook is the whole file racho, renema worksheets. So in other words, when you put a password, you're actually protecting everything. And so can you take these notes? This restricts access to the whole workbook to all unauthorized users. This restricts access to the whole workbook to all unauthorized users. So this method, by a protector, chose, right? So that's the workbook protection. Then another point is, or another method to protect your work. Munogona kusada ku protect the whole workbook. You want vanhu vapinde pasina password, but you want to restrict certain things inside the worksheets. So you can have protect worksheet elements. Protect the worksheet elements. So protecting the worksheet elements now is when you simply go and protect the worksheet. Maybe ndaita payroll rangu, but I thought muna edit anything. Ndinogona kubvumidza to get in, but ndo restrict the functions that person can do in that particular worksheet. Ndinogona kuramba kuti musa edit, but whilst you are there, like I'm here, I can go ndo edit pakanzi $0 apo. But I can choose, I don't want anyone, you can see, but you can't do anything per workbook. You can do certain authorized functions. So because you realize they are working towards, we having some meetings where Zimbabwe together with other nations in Africa, we are working towards what we call the 2050 calculator, where Excel and other spreadsheets are going to be adopted to assist us kuchikoro vana veku primary ndo ichangeri future yedu ndo kwachange takuswerera ndo ma notebook rateti chishandisa ndo anenge ari matoy yedu Excel iyoyo. So as a result you realize munenge muchishandisa muri connected multi connections dzakanyanya kwete zvamunoita muri mega today, as you can see now. So as a result you might not want kuti chimwe chinhu chiitike. Handiti pa WhatsApp munogona kuti handidi kuti munhu aone nda blue ticker, handidi kuti munhu aone kuti ndaverenga message, handidi kuti munhu aone kuti aone profile picture yangu. You can still do the same with Excel, and even far more than just what you can do with your WhatsApp. Right, so protect worksheet elements. So you can take these notes and say, you may want to protect a worksheet to prevent it from being changed. You may want to protect, or this protects a worksheet. This time it's not a workbook, it's just a worksheet. The one worksheet like this one, this is a worksheet. A workbook now worksheets essay akakwana. Okay, then Mohamati, lastly, the final method is to lock cells. Lock cells. Locking cells protects cells from being edited. Ndikaenda inini pa figure rangu retotal rineka na formula yangu yandakakwara nekugadzira. Iya yataita yekunzi if this is this, then this will become this, and if not, then this is this. Such a long logical formula, munhu akazoenda pairi akandoiguma inokanganisa the whole maybe 21 work sheets akalingwa akawanda ari 21. Then basa redu ma results edu anobva. So to protect against that, you can go and say this worksheet or this worksheet range. The range is I don't want anyone to go and tamper around with them. So you can actually lock the cell. So let's go back and try this. Number one, tatisusu pekutanga tinechizia. Tatitinotanga ne marking as final. So before we try out, can you take these notes? Can you take these notes again? How to protect worksheets. How to protect our worksheets. And to protect your worksheets, click the File tab. click the file tab. Do we have that one? Okay, yes, the backstage. You click the file tab. Sorry. Click the file tab to access the backstage view. Click the file tab to access the backstage view. Here, this is the backstage view where we can do functions like, if you remember, the likes of creating a new company, opening a new workbook, opening an existing workbook, save as, and exporting to PDF and all that. So this is the backstage where we go to protect our workbook and our work from, right? Then click from the pen, click the protect workbook command, this one. Click the protect workbook command, this one. This is a command in the file tab. Click the protect workbook command and choose the best option that suits your requirement, and choose the best option that suits your requirement. So we're coming here, so I'll go back, then we'll start again. So to protect, tatizo tunaenda pakanzi file. Tasika pakanzi file, tuenda pakanzi protect workbook pana. Tine mukana wekuita mark as final. Tine mukana wekuita encrypt with the password. Tine mukana weku protect the current worksheet only, which is element ya tatizo the worksheet elements protection. Tinemukana wekuita protect workbook certain structures, and also tinemukana, then I will talk about these two as we proceed. And right, so let's click. So I'll go and click mark as final like this. This workbook will be marked as final and saved, right? So Kalandadai, this document has been marked as final to indicate that editing is complete and that it is the final version of the document. And in this is the final version of this document. As you can see, Panapa, marked as final. Another author has marked this workbook as the final to discourage editing. So ndikawaya Panapa, then sasa anchakwanza ku edit. As you can see, I'm clicking here. I'm clicking, and then nika click panapa, I should be able to see panapa. I should be able to see in the formula bar whatever section ye cell or range under picker. But I can't. As long as I can't see anything in the formula bar, it means I can't edit. So I'm not allowed to edit. But now some experts akaita same is out munongondo editor. Panapa pakanzi edit anyway. It means if I click here, then it will allow me to edit. Now click Panapa, I can come here and edit and change this to 2020 like this. Then, so that's its weakness. It's letting people know, but you can proceed to edit anyway. Any questions so far? Say, come in. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Hello? Brother Timothy.
No questions, sir.
So far, so good. Right, wonderful. Thank you very much. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. So this is how we make sure that the document redu kana tapedza naro, maybe it's a financial report, tapedza kugadzira financial report redu ready maybe for circulation, maybe for adoption, whatever, before maybe raenda for adoption. I mean to say, don't edit anything, just read only, then you leave it. So we can actually come, no, we're not even allowed to do anything. We can't even open these pages. So I really know that as static as it is. So to then edit, you come there, then you are done. Then you are done. Hello, I'm here, just 2 minutes, I'm doing something, just a minute. Right, so let's try now to what do you call it? Let's now try the password protection. This one now, be very careful when I'm out with the password full protection. We call it the password full protection of the workbook. This one, you are coming to protect the whole workbook race with the password. So you're coming because encrypt with password here. So mukaisa password you like in there 1 2 3. Okay. Confirm 1 2 3. Mukazokangana this password, unfortunately, you might not be able to recover this particular document. It becomes difficult to recover it. So each time you have to not try to open this document, it will demand for the password 1 2 3 ataisa, just like ku QuickBooks, ku Pastel, ku Bengi kwenyu, ku EcoCash, tinenge tangata demand the password for us to access this workbook. Then, so let's proceed to the next. Besides that, we have, let's go back to the back stage. Then we go, then protect current worksheets, right? This one, unlike the full protection, the password is simply to protect or to lock, protect worksheet and contents of locked cells. So to allow all users of this worksheet to, so whatever you allow them to do, so if you come and say, I allow them to delete my rows, then they will be allowed to delete my rows, even though anything else. But if you say, no, I don't want them to delete any rows, select and lock the cell. And if I do this, then I'm going to look at this whole thing. If I don't want them to sort, if I didn't want them to use pivot table or any other scenarios and stuff, then like the hyperlink, we've been doing hyperlink. If I say insert hyperlink, they'll be allowed. If I say no, then they won't be allowed. Then I say, maybe my password is 1 2 3 as usual. Then I go 1 2 3 again, then it's okay. Then we're done. So can you see my commands are in the home tab. They've been besides the delete, I think, the delete is also delete the sheet. I think I'm allowed because maybe in the ISA, but otherwise I can't even change the color, the font color, the background color, bold, italics. All this is now unprotected. I can't do that anymore. Right, tiripo here. Are we there? Hello? Kosanda Sarandoga.
Yes, we are there.
Wonderful.
We are here.
Wonderful.
Tiripo mudzidzisi.
Munomboita muchitaura neni chero ndisina kubvunza. Ndajaira muclass kaini.
Tiripo say.
It is well, thank you. Right, so we then proceed to the other one, which is you can unprotect. A password is required to protect. What's happening? But Sister Pauline, may you unmute your mic? May you mute your mic rather? Thank you. So you can come at the backstage here and actually unprotect the whatever protections are tight. We can actually come and do unprotect. To unprotect, panodiwa the password yacho yamakamboshandisa kuprotector. Then we can go back to unprotect. So let me come back. So you realize all my commands and tabs are now active and I can begin to use them. Thank you. Right, let's proceed with this one. So we have got the one, tighter this one, we have got the protect workbook structure. The protect workbook structure. So if you come here, you can actually protect part of the workbook like this, right?